So I've been testing out the Vector Split Squat Resistance Band Belt, and this thing is great at one thing. But is that a good thing? Now, when I first saw this piece of equipment, my brain went, this is going to be a game changer for me when it comes to squats. I wanted to use it for squats. Now, some of the key features of this belt is that you can easily attach up to 4 bands, carabiner hooks, or clips directly onto the belt. You can use this belt on band platforms such as the Clench Fitness Footplate. You can attach it to like cages and machines and stuff like that in the garage. And I've seen some people use it on smart home gyms. It does provide a real good ease of comfort, for it uses a neoprene that feels really good on your back and a heavy duty polyester for giving you that extra strength. It's capable of handling up to 500 pounds of resistance, and that is massive. And one of the cool things is that it has a quick release buckle, so you can really get out of a sticky situation like that. So when I was looking, I saw there was a belt that had hooks on there, and I was hooked, no pun intended. So I was really excited to get this thing. So when it first came in, that was my first thought. So I immediately grabbed my Clench Fitness Footplate, and I went ahead and I made sure I put the bands through the grooves. I went down and put my hooks on, and I noticed it was pretty awkward getting it on at first. I tried a lot of different angles, and then I noticed that I had to turn it vertically because the Clench Fitness Footplate is shaped like a rectangle. So I kind of went with the more narrow side, and I put it on, and it was a bit easier to put on that way. But then I noticed that my feet were in a very narrow position, and I don't like doing my squats in this very narrow position. So I went back and I kept trying different ways to make sure I can put it on. I understand if you're doing a squat, you need to get comfortable with getting down low, but you gotta get super low to make sure you get your hooks in on the bands. I wanna find an easier way to be able to hook this onto the belt. So let's try some different things. So eventually when I got it attached and I went ahead and started doing my squats, it was great for the squats. It really helped me mimic doing a squat into a gym. Because with resistance bands, you can find it very difficult to really get good squats when it comes to resistance bands. So if you read what this piece of fitness equipment is good for, it says on the website, a split squat resistance band. So what is a split squat? So if you take a look with a quick Google search, you can see that these are like stationary lunges. So I proceeded to go ahead and do some split squats with it. I'm here to say that it was phenomenal with a split squat. When I was doing a split squat with it, it was very easy to put on and get good resistance. I was able to hit both sides of my legs very well and great type of mind muscle connection as I was going down and up getting good contractions. But with further testing of this, what I learned is that it's really good at just that one thing, the split squat. See, the issue I had when I was just trying to do regular squats with both legs was that I was running into this dilemma. The dilemma was if I really wanted good resistance, really good resistance with a squat, it was going to be extremely hard and difficult for me to put the bands on the hooks. But if I wanted to make sure that I can put them on easier, I had to go with a lighter band with more linear stretch. Am I going to do heavy resistance, but I'm going to be exhausted by the time I even get the bands on? Or am I going to use lighter resistance and just do high repetition, but I still won't get that progressive overload I really need to build my legs? Now you can work out your legs with lighter resistance, but if that's not your intent when you buy this, I just want to make you aware of this to begin with. Now it's actually great for the squats also, but is that once you get it on is when you feel those benefits. And by the time I get it on, I was huffing and puffing. Oh crap. Now you don't have to just use this with some type of foot plate. You can do it with just your feet below. And when I tried this, I also saw that my feet were kind of too narrow to be able to use it that way. And the wider that I got, it was kind of hard to put on the band. Now I believe this was intended to use with a foot plate because you look at their website, under the key features, it's the first thing that's listed. And most of the examples that you're gonna see online are going to be using a foot plate. Now it begs the question of, who is this for? So the thing that it says that it's meant for those split squats, it's great at. But we have to look at value. Is this a good value? So this product is $79.99. Now $79.99 is what you would spend just to actually do one exercise. You have to ask yourself, is that worth it for you? Now for some people, that's not a lot of money to spend, but if you're not one of those people, who is it for? That's a good question. Now, a lot of people who are subscribed to this channel, you know that this channel is really dedicated to using resistance bands. If you're a person who already owns a set of good quality bands, if you're a person who already has a foot plate that you can use, if you're a person who owns bands and knows it's really hard to get a good leg workout at home with resistance bands, this product is for you because it's going to add another tool to your tool belt when it comes to working out your leg. Because to get a good workout, you need multiple tools to be able to do that. So when it comes to tools, there's some tools like a Swiss Army knife that has multiple things you can do with one thing. And then there's some tools, maybe something like a saw, is for one direct thing. If you have a better analogy, leave a comment below. Now, for a tool that only does one thing for one task, is it worth 80 bucks for it? Now, after I tested this out, I wanted to see how other people use this device. Maybe there's some other things that you can do with it. And I did find one person, a YouTube channel called Sliding Bench Trainer, and he's using this belt in a couple of different ways. One, he used it for assisted pull-ups, which I think is a great idea. But as you see, he's at home with a garage, and he has a device with a cage, and he's attaching bands to the bottom of it, and then he has the belt with it hooked up to do those resisted pull-ups. So you would need the cage and the bands to be able to do that. Another way that I saw him doing exercises with it is with a total gym, and he had the belt attached to bands on there, but then you would need the total gym and that. Now, one other thing that I think is useful that I did not think about, which you can add something else with it, and anybody can, is going to be calf raises. As you see, he's doing it here with a board, and I think that's also a great idea when it comes to using this belt. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the belt. I think there was something wrong with my expectation. Because when I look at this, I think squat, but it's telling me split squat. They're very upfront for what it is used for, and what it is used for is one of the best tools when it comes to a split squat. So my overall thoughts of it for myself is that I would definitely own one of these for me, because I'm a person, I have a YouTube channel, I have a lot of different equipment there, and the more tools I have in my belt, the more I can really develop my body. But you have to ask yourself, is this something that you need? Is a split squat a part of your workout routine? Is something that's 80 bucks, is it worth it for you to get for an exercise? But if that exercise is a split squat, I would say, it's worth it for that.